Ah, shit. It's about to happen. Hey, it's about to happen. Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
This song is made with so much love.
Thank you.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story. So she driving me insane, stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, and I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light. See the light. I am a Yoruba priestess. I am a minister in one of the most ancient traditions of African spirituality that exist. The Yoruba tradition are based on the oracles of Ifa. So the oracles of Ifa are the sacred scriptures for the Yoruba people that teach you about living in order and value and balance. But the four basic principles for life that Yoruba people live by is number one, honor God. Have an intimate relationship with the God of your understanding. And since Yorubas didn't speak English, they didn't say God, they said Olodumare or Olorum. But that is not to say there's another God, it's just honoring the tongue of the people that are worshiping the God. The other principle is have a relationship with your ancestors and your clan. So those people who came before you, those people who worked the land or the country or the culture in which you live, you must have a good relationship with them. In European spirituality, they're called angels. In African spirituality, they're called ancestors. The third tenet is have a relationship with your parents and your family. So African culture and tradition spiritually doesn't believe in put your parents in the nursing home. You got to take care of mama and daddy and grandma and big mama and big daddy till they're gone. Because that's how you get blessed in heaven. Just to have a good relationship with your parents and your clan on earth. And finally, have a good relationship with your community. So a relationship with God, your creator, a relationship with your ancestors and your guardians, and a relationship with your family, your parents, your clan, and a relationship with your immediate community. Those are the four tenets of a healthy, balanced life according to Yoruba tradition, presented in the form of 256 Odu that give the oral tradition of how to manage and master your life.
Oh, don't hit him so hard, Iyanla. Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason, back with another head scratcher. Yeah, I'm having a conversation. We have to have this conversation tonight. And a lot of people are afraid to have religious conversations because, religion and politics, gosh, these are hard conversations because people have, these cemented, concretized ideas and viewpoints where the most openness should be displayed. Like when it comes to spirituality, you should be at your most open. But for most people, they are at their most closed. So what's happening is a lot of young people are moving away from Abrahamic belief systems. And when I say young folk, I'm talking about young black folk. Sisters in particular are moving away from Jesus and them, from Allahu subhanahu wa ta'ala, from Yahweh, the whole crew. A lot of people moving away from the Abrahamic. Father Abraham gave birth to all of those belief systems. Those are the three most popular belief systems. Those are the three most populated belief systems. But things is changing. Why are black millennial women giving up the belief system that, at least their American foreparents believed in, i.e. Islam or Christianity, and starting to slide further back, becoming witches? A lot of people scared of that word. Don't be scared of the word. You know what white people do. I know a lot of white people might be listening right now. I ain't scared of y'all. White people take our ancient stuff and flip it and make it evil. Everybody has an image of a witch in their mind. That image comes from Halloween. That image comes from the Wizard of Oz, floating around on broomsticks and wearing black with a green face and a mole with hair coming out of it. But did you know all that stuff originated in Africa? And there is a much richer and deeper meaning to it. Tonight's topic, oh Lord, get to your phone lines. Don't be afraid to talk. My god sister is going to be in here too. I bring in my god sister for support. And she is an Ianifa. Huh? Say what? I'm bringing in the heavy hitters tonight. Tonight's topic, witches with attitudes, WWA. A deeper look at melanated or millennial black women, their migration away from the Abrahamic beliefs back to African spirituality. The key question here is, should they carry their unhealed wounds with them? See, you can't be the same person in Ifa as you were in Christianity. Uh-oh. What is Ifa? We're going to cover it all. Oh, it's going to get deep. See, a lot of people will jump into African spiritual belief systems and think that they can think negative thoughts, think that they can think negative thoughts about themselves and other people, think that they now have the tools to do rituals and spells. Huh? Can't do that. All that stuff come back on you. Are you saying the concept of karma came from Africa? When we come forward, I'm going to introduce you to my guest. Tonight's topic, witches with attitude. You can't have an attitude with this newfound power. I got a lot to talk about.
The reasons
Yeah. You know I'm turned up.
Ladies, I want to hear from y'all. This, this is totally up my alley. So you guys got to tell me, and gentlemen, let me know.
Y'all ready?
Do you want your women
This shit about to
connecting
be
with their
lit.
ancestors? Do you think that
Yo,
a
y'all
virtual
ready?
relationship is that scary? Do you think that's a form of devil worship, or is that a plus, a blessing if your girl connects with their ancestors? Call in 800-920-920-1580. Call us.
Everybody hit the like button. Let's go. Let's
That's
go.
what
Let's
you on the
go.
radio. Then
Let's
I'll
share
answer
it.
the phone.
Let's hit the like button. Come on. Let's get active. Hey, this week the topics have been bananas.
I gracefully
Scary. I know you scared.
gracefully bow out. I gracefully bow out. Y'all, I'm out.
Robin, what you scared
I'm
of?
not about to play with y'all. Y'all ain't about to be summoned. My team is very deep. It's very deep. You've had a lot of preparation time, sir. I need a lot of preparation time. She just finished talking about Tyrese. Okay.
Don't be scared.
Yeah, we talk about spirituality going back to the ancestors and whatnot. I just got done talking about child support.
You can do it.
Right. How you going in flip flop?
Huh? Because men don't give a damn. You know you got to turn that off. Here we go. See? Robin scared. Robin was like, hey.
I just finished talking about child support. I ain't got time for this.
Ooh. It's cool. You scary now.
Y'all love this topic as much as I love this topic. I love this topic. I don't know if I'm an old soul or just wise, but I be talking to my ancestors, girl.
Hey, Xylon, I appreciate you.
I be connected. I be looking at the moon and everything. I'm so happy for this conversation. I miss y'all. You know my birthday's in 2 weeks. Tourist season.
What is going on? What are you talking? Girl, get over there and sit down. Gee, how y'all doing? And then I had a Popeye strawberry biscuit, and my birthday is tomorrow, and then the fuck? Arabia is hilarious. Don't be scared. Hey, Suge Mac 10. I don't always say Mac 10, but it's Mac 510. Yay area. Woo.
Oh, that's the area code 510. No, you gotta turn it down.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
remember? Did you tell him to play Black Parade?
Yeah. Right after the song. No. Like a verse to the chorus. No.
I honestly believe Jesus was one of the most toxic relationships I've ever had in the entirety of my life. You shouldn't keep your magic in the dark. Like, this is your soul. You need to share it to the world. Let it rain on me now. So be it. So it is. I was a super Christian. I was raised in the church. I was a worship leader. I'm like singing all over the place and touring over here and crying out to God. How many times have I prayed to Jesus to show up for things that were actually needed and he didn't show up?
Melissa Whetstone grew up as a preacher's kid. But 12 years ago, she left the church. She says the community felt toxic, and she didn't feel a personal connection to Jesus.
Hi. I need the frankincense mercy is here.
She eventually discovered Lukumi, a religion that was brought to Cuba by enslaved West Africans.
It's just a beautiful thing to be a part of. It's a beautiful community spirit. You're learning and growing with other people. So I really love it.
Black folks have left the church in higher numbers over the last decade than ever before, and younger generations are even less likely to affiliate with the church. But many young people are still seeking spirituality, and some are reviving traditions from Africa and the Caribbean through practices that connect them with their ancestors.
This is my favorite art, or my altar. A few glasses of water. That's just for my specific ancestors who watch and look over me. I have liquor, and my uncle likes, to make sure he still get rid of other stuff.
You still got the cross in that video, though.
I talk to them, I spend time with them. Like, this is my place to be.
So can you talk about some of the differences in what you study now to what your relationship was with Christianity then? What are you getting out of Lukumi?
I get answers to my prayers. That I tell people that all the time. Like, when they're like, what's the difference? I'm like, because my prayers are answered. Like, that's one. When I come to my altar and I pray to my ancestors and I actually take my time to cry out, not only do I get responses, I get physical manifestations and answers.
You were born into a household where your dad was a pastor?
Yes.
How is that relationship with him now, and how did your family react?
I'm the black sheep of my family. I love my family to death. They love me, but we don't see eye to eye. They're like, girl, you going to hell, you going to burn. And I'm like, if I was going to burn.
Oh, Lord, is the black woman the original witch? Ooh. If so, why does she shun this knowledge in America? True or false? Christianity still exerts a powerful force in many black communities, but some young women are turning their back on the faith and returning to the older traditional religions of their ancestors. I need to know. I need answers, right? Can a belief system liberate you from your internal wounds, the things you've been through? And for many people, because this is not to besmirch Christianity or any of the Abrahamic belief systems, I believe there's truth in all religions. I do believe that, 100%. You know, I will quote from Buddha, Lao Tzu, Hinduism, Taoism. You know, I'll quote from all over the world, because but what I'm saying is there is a movement happening in America where sisters are leaving the choir and becoming witches, starting to burn candles. Oh my God. What is Iwa Puele in Yoruba? This is a big deal. Should black girl magic really be rooted in African spirituality? Is it rooted in African spirituality? Well, let me bring my sister in. Gotta bring my sister in. Lord have mercy. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to my sister. This is my sister Samantha, but I call her Thug Life. She's not a thug, but she's actually an Ianifa. She is a Yoruba priest, a Awo. And she's a millennial. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I really want her to come in here and drop some jewels on us. Can you talk to me about this mass migration of sisters leaving the church and going into Lukumi, Voodoo, Ifa, all of these ancient African belief systems? Why is that happening?
Hello?
Yeah, you couldn't hear me?
Oh, I hear you now, brother. I'm sorry. I kind of tuned off when you called me third last time. We talked about this.
Okay, Iadami is her name.
Alafia.
Iadami Alafia. But again, can you give me a really strong answer to why so many young sisters are migrating away from the church and into African spirituality? What are the benefits? What are the pros and the cons?
Well, I can only really speak from my point of view. I myself, I'm a PK. I grew up in the church. I come from a line of preachers and evangelists and prophets and all of those good things. So for myself, why I decided to walk away from the church was more or less because there was an aspect of transparency that I wasn't getting there. Certain answers that were just closed-ended. There was no, well, why not? Well, because God said so, and just don't do it, which made me want to do something even more. And in many aspects, when we look at the church and the growth of the church, coming more into now these times, we see more women being active in the church and different things like that. But our roles were pretty much limited in many ways as how I saw things in the church. So just, the basics of what everybody say. The hypocrisy is a lot of things. The church is just, they don't have the answers for what we need for this day and time. Tradition within itself is good to preserve tradition, but at the same time, tradition within itself has to be expounded upon. It has to continue to grow. How it grows is now the new generations expound upon that, because even though this is tradition, we're still in the right now world, which has changed and which has shifted. So in the way that my mind shifted, it didn't really shift in the same direction as the church. So that's my personal opinion. There's many reasons why people decide to leave the church. A lot of traumas that happen to a lot of people happen to them right there in the church. Myself, there were things that happened to me right there in the church. For my family members, there was things that happened right there in the church. And in all of it, it was, oh, touch not thy anointed, or God will work it out. Nothing about, just, what a lot of black folks do. We sweep stuff under the table. We don't really deal with the problem and try to get to the root of it. So what attracted me to African traditional spirituality was more about the answers that I got through the aspects of divination, better understandings of different things that I also got through those divination about myself. And, just the growth that I saw myself moving in it. It was something that was more practical, something that made me have to get into the mud with things, and more things that I had to actually practice and do. It wasn't just somebody coming and talking to me and lecturing me, and now I'll go out into these streets and that lecture out the window. This was something that is more of a lifestyle. So more.
So let me ask you, because a lot of people get it kind of twisted up, right? They'll in this way, right? First off, the connotation of the word witch. Right? People hear witch and they think demon, demonic, evil. And the church has its own definition of that. And then on top of that, you mentioned the term divination, which I know in the Bible is expressly forbade. So I need to know, why is divination forbidden in the Bible? And the term witch in Yoruba, in Ifa, in these different belief systems that have evolved out of Ifa, what does witch actually mean if we have it wrong in the American sense?
Well, when you think about the term witch, or just the etymology of it, so wit or witty, meaning ones of wit, so it's all about, your good own common sense, really. And when we talk about that, that's an empowerment of self. The church within itself is not going to seek to empower you in that way. Empower you to give your tithes and offerings, sure. Empower you to come and speak to this man and give your all belief to whatever this person is telling you over this pulpit, sure. But the power in yourself, we don't really see that much. We don't see that too often. just put all your faith in Jesus, turn around 3 times, hit a 360, and everything's going to be all right. But yet not having the tools to say, okay, now how do I actually apply this in my life? So the witch, within the term witch within itself is all talking about intuition. And you tap into your own intuition. That intuition is that gut feeling. That gut feeling is that inner knowing. That inner knowing is what I've come here to remember as I go through my experiences of life. I remember why I chose this destiny. I remember why I chose this path. I remember why I chose these parents and these people in my life. So that is what taps us into our intuition. To be one who is into it is to be a witch. So of course, they'll demonize it. Why not?
Let me ask again.
Taking money out of their pocket.
Right. Let me ask again. In context of African spirituality, what is the woman's role? Because I know in Christianity, sometimes women, or not just Christianity, but the Abrahamic belief systems, sometimes the woman has been marginalized and put to the side. What is the woman's role in African spirituality? Is she venerated? Does she have a role that is equal to men? Is there a place for feminine energy alongside masculine energy? What are your thoughts?
Oh yeah, absolutely, definitely. The role of women in African tradition is primarily what we are as a divine feminine force. So we are the restorer. We are the one that nurtures, that gives. We are the one that brings up our children and the childbearing and all those things. So all of those things play out in the aspects of bringing people into ritual as well. We open the doors for ritual. We open the way for ceremony. This is what the woman's job is to do. That divine feminine energy is even what helps us to even have power. When we look at that divine feminine energy, that is what we know as the Iami, or Iami Osoranga, or the great primordial mothers, those who govern this earthly realm, or what we know as the place of exchange, as we come to this earthly realm to exchange energy, time, experiences, etc. They're the ones who give us the Ashe. What is the Ashe? The Ashe is the manifesting power, or the power to manifest. This is the role of the woman. She opens the door to bring light that will be projected out of the darkness. She's the one who brings us into the doors of creation to understand who we are, why we are here, what we are, and what we are here to do.
Wow. You know, it's really blowing my mind with what you're saying right now. Because in my studies, I have picked up a lot of stuff now. And what I'm starting to realize, we lost this knowledge as men, and now we don't know how to treat women properly. If you listen to our songs, if you listen to our music, if you go back to our granddaddies, treating a woman like a possession, objectifying women, using our wallets as leverage to cement the relationship. We've been doing a lot of mess because I think we've lost contact with this real information. Look, when I come forward, I'm going back to my sister Iadami. She's over here cooking with the rarest avocado oil. When we come forward, she clearly has a lot more to talk about.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's older than you.
Black Information Network. New York
But
City
you a
Mayor,
millennial.
African American Eric Adams says he sees no problem with President Biden.
What y'all know?
After the president announced he would be running for re-election in 2024. His age is
What y'all know about it?
Meantime, a meeting between the Justice Department and Hunter Biden's attorneys.
What y'all know about it?
Meeting reportedly involved potential charges related to tax filing from the president's son.
Everybody hit the like button. Let's go, let's go, let's go. We're at $29.99. Everybody, please continue to support the channel. It was a woman who taught me no romance without finance. Of course. Where was that woman raised? Smart Aleck. Where was she raised? You're making my point. It's the idea, the concept that's missing, sir. Where was she raised, Third Eye? Answer the question, Third Eye. Where was she raised?
He's a local expert. Hiring is about getting to know people, not algorithms. So let the team that expects
Exactly.
professionals hire for
Booyah.
America.
pros.com to find
With an Americanized mind. If you gonna make a comment, make it good.
I just emailed you something.
Let me see. How am I supposed to see that?
Why the King access crimes of witchcraft in New England, but no executions resulted from these accusations as facts accompanied the lowest rung within the society. Their ability to survive the ordeals of the witchcraft trials itself indicates something of the perceived power they possess.
Okay, I see it.
Black magic, witchcraft, race,
I see it.
resistance
Yep.
in colonial New England.
No.
Campbell State University.
I'm only using the ammo that works. Knock it off.
Hey, True. We love you, True.
True Measy.
Hi, Third Eye. Hi, Attila. Nazarene.
We got 52 likes, 72 people.
Mimi. Hi, my sugar babies. Sugar back. I could give it to you, but what you gonna do with it? I can give it to you, but what?
As you can see, Better Hunter Shooter Hunter is in the studio.
Yeah, I was talking about that. I fell out.
Hey, thank you guys. You guys are doing well. We're at $39.99. I appreciate everybody for hitting the likes.
Yeah, who else is in this bad boy? WDMA. What's that, like a fighter? Yeah, like a birdie.
Oh, hey, can you tell Sam about the feedback? She might be listening to the video on another device. Nothing's on? Got it. Okay. Well, then I don't know where it is.
He who thinks.
I saw that, which is good. Yeah, that's good. Hey, we gonna get it. We gonna get it.
Ooh, thank you, baby.
Eric Jackson, thank you, sir.
The motherfucker build it. I can give it to you.
So just let her know when I'm talking, she's gonna be muted. When I'm asking her the question, she's gonna be muted.
Who else is in this bad boy? Beautiful.
Hey, we doing it. We have 54.99. We doing it. Let's keep it rocking, y'all.
Ronald, I see you, baby. Charles Walker. Okay. Beautiful, powerful love. Ghetto gourmet.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the Cash Mob crew. Y'all showing up. Twos and Fuse in the building. We appreciate it greatly. Means the world to us.
Hey.
Hey, what y'all think about tonight's topic?
This isn't an ad to scare you, but it is an ad to make you think twice. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad
Right,
Council.
baby. Be careful what you put out of that universe. Everything gonna come back. Slap you in the face.
Live in a minute.
Live in 1 minute, 60 seconds. What do y'all think about the topic? And get on the phone lines if you're curious and you want to ask questions about what something means.
I know I'm gonna have to watch this episode again.
Yes. Call in. Yadamin. Shug. Mac 510.
Yeah, my cousin got season tickets for y'all 49ers. Is that who y'all are?
I'm a 49er.
You a 49er?
Hell yeah.
Y'all don't play, huh? Oh, what's this? Oh, let me do the 49er dance.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
What's this? Big stepping. 4-5 with me look like I'm bitch pressure. Ain't that y'all dance? You gotta do it.
I don't know the
See,
dance.
you're not a real fan.
What in the...
I'm a Chiefs fan and I know that. Huh?
Don't mention the Chiefs right now. Not right now.
Oh, not the champion? Sorry.
Ow. Hey, lady. Ow. Always doing something.
Disrespect Christianity in a sense because I know it works. And I know who still lives there, that I found something that worked better for me.
Hello and welcome to the Jude 3 Project's new series, From People to Person, sponsored by the Matthew 5-9 Fellowship. My name is Brandon Cleaver, and I serve as a Matthew 5-9 Outreach Manager. We're a group of pastors and Christian leaders shepherding our communities to live out the gospel and place our identities in Christ above partisanship and societal divisions. We support both pastors and Christian leaders with resources and training to grapple with the harmful divisions in the U.S. in hopes of building a future in which all human beings are treated as image bearers of God, regardless of earthly divisions. With the unfortunate and pervasive co-opting of our Christian identity for political gain, it's up to us to lead with integrity so that others know what it means to be Christian. Oftentimes that entails conversations just like these, where we don't necessarily endorse everything that's espoused, but we do endorse the idea of listening to those whom we may disagree with. And this is what healthy conversation and deep relationships are about too, creating space to be Christian when it counts. From People to Person is a series of conversations that seeks to cherish the individual. We understand that all religious groups have a core set of beliefs, but moving from people to person means that we're moving from these broad generalizations to specific engagements. Just as individuals in Christianity express their faith differently, nuances also exist within other religious groups. The Jude 3 Project has produced an abundance of informative interviews, series on various...
See, I'm not against my Christian brothers and sisters. But you do have to acknowledge there's been a demonization of African spirituality. Why? I want to know. And why? Listen, we know why brothers and sisters do it. Can we be honest? Brothers and sisters do it because we've been conditioned to do it. You think it didn't happen here in America? What happens, though? We already know the story of Cuba. We already know the story of the Caribbean. When the slaves got over there, their belief systems had to be obfuscated, had to be hidden, obscured, using Christian iconography, right? The Orisha became the saints, and that produced Santeria, right? Haiti, it's voodoo, right? We had to hide it. You trying to tell me it wasn't hidden here in America too? Using the preferred belief system of the slave master. Now the millennials are saying, we going back to the original. Why should they be demonized? I want to know. But it don't matter if you're Christian, Muslim, Jew, Hindu, Buddhist, whatever. Ifa, Lukumi, Kondumble, Santeria, it doesn't matter what your belief system is. Whatever you practicing, you better try to get your spirit right. Because if you do anything wrong using the precepts and concepts of these belief systems, please believe it's going to come back. That's how it works. What you put out, you get back. Oh, let me get my sister back in here. Ia Dami was in here cooking. Talk to me, Ia.
I'm here with you, guys.
So let me ask, because I think this is a very important question. What does the healing process look like for someone who is participating in African spirituality? How does that process differ from, say, what they've been taught?
So, when you think about, okay, what this healing process looks like, I mean, in all aspects, it pretty much looks the same. You have this aspect of acknowledgement that we have to do. We have to acknowledge where our trauma comes from and where we need to heal and what areas we need to heal within. After that acknowledgement, we have to now learn of new ways of how to heal, learn of new ways of how to be, how to interact, how to respond, how to react in certain things and aspects and experiences in life. And then from that, in learning that, many times we want to skip this part because it causes us to have a bit more patience, but we now have to embody those alternatives that we've been learning. We have to become that. That we can't just be talking about it, just, okay, yeah, go journal, girl. But when's the last time you journaled? Or, anything of that nature. So we have to embody it, meaning when I'm placed in these familiar instances and situations, I don't revert back to old ways of being and habits of thinking. But I utilize and I practice these new techniques that I have been learning. It now becomes my second nature. I'm living this. It's a lifestyle and not just something that I preach about and I talk about. And then we're able to go ahead and pay it forward because that's still a part of that teaching process as well. As I'm able to now go and impart that to someone else, now I also even learn new aspects of myself as a teacher and not just a student. The roles are reversed now. So in our systems of African traditional religion or spirituality, and I really believe in all aspects of consciousness, not just Ifa or Lukumi or Santeria or Candomblé or any of those African traditional spiritual practices, but just in the aspect of consciousness, it's going to always give us this 360 perspective. That 360 perspective means it's not 180. It's not, okay, I turn away from those things of the old. I isolate myself from those things of the old and the familiar to now become this new person. But now that I've become this new person, I can be placed back in these familiar instances and I can maintain myself. I can maintain my character. I can maintain these new traits that I've picked up and these new habits that I'm now continuing to cultivate. The only way to cultivate them is to now be placed in positions where I have to put it to practice. But just to talk about it, I'm just talking. To actually do it, to live it, that's something else.
That's something else. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my sister, Ia Dami. That's what I call her, Ia Dami or Sam. Listen, she's on fire tonight. And when we come forward, I'm going to have her give you her information. You want to connect with Ia Dami. Trust me. When we come forward, more on Witches with Attitude.
This just added to the national.
Oh, guess what's in my shirt?
What?
My
What is that?
scarf.
Oh, your head scarf.
All this time I've been having this hunchback, girl. I mean, Lord. I know they was like, she pretty, but she got a hunchback.
No, you know, I know everybody in here scared.
Don't be scared.
Oh, wait. I got 1 second.
This was in my Twitter all day.
Upwards of over 600 songs. Thanks to our new sponsor, Lindustry. Lindustry is a national black-led small business lender that is headquartered in Los Angeles. Lindustry helps small business owners access the affordable capital needed to grow. Visit Lindustry, L-E-N-D-I-S.
What y'all talking about? Oh, I don't know how to spell her name. Iadami, that's a pretty name. I'll make sure he spells it for us. Hi, baby. I'm not used to sitting on this side. Y'all like my little protection bracelet? I heard if you put it on. Hi, Jacoba, thank you, baby. You always show up and show out. Thank you, we appreciate it. So I heard like if you put your bracelet on your right side, it's for you to give that type of energy. So whatever your charms are, your crystals, you give out that energy. But if you put it on the left side, that's how you receive the energy on your masculine hand. So I try to remember that so I can receive protection and love and money and wisdom and peace and serenity.
That's scary. Get out! Get yourself out the chair.
I was just keeping it warm for you. I was telling him how the right side, if you put these on the right side, you give this energy, but if you put it on this side, you receive this energy. I was just keeping. No, I didn't. True. Y'all gonna get me in trouble.
What the hell?
Scat.
I walk in, she like, yeah, and then what had happened was I had some cornbread, and then they had some jambalaya, and the jambalaya had crawfish tails in it, and it just over here chatting.
Hold on, I got a minute.
30 seconds.
Live and about. I read that book, The Mice and Men, and the big guy was kind of retarded, kind of slow.
Chatty Patty.
They used to call my mama that, Chatty Cathy. Boop, 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 boop. Who you telling? That sounds good, actually.
But I just want to comment on an article that was written regarding Jamal Bryant, where he calls out Christians who burn sage. He says it's witchcraft, satanic aromatherapy. Now, much of what he spoke on in this article is valid information. It's true. A lot of what he says is true. But when it comes down to Jamal Bryant, the first thought comes to my mind when he teach on messages like this is the fact that he committed adultery. He went outside of his home. He tore up his home. He tore up his family. And then even after he was divorced, he had a child out of wedlock. So pastors like this, it's really hard for me to listen to what they have to say. They could be teaching the truth,
but it's extremely hard to listen to them. Not so much as because of the message that he teaches, but because of how he teaches the message and how he condemns people that do these things. Now, when it comes to sage, I've studied and researched sage myself, and it's like burning frankincense and myrrh. It's all according to your will and the intention that you put into it. It's your motive and intention behind doing that, because even in voodoo or Santeria or other forms of dark magic or dark arts, it's according to your motive and intention, because many of them use the book of Psalms. You have places that sell witchcraft items. They also sell the book of Psalms, and they use the Psalms for magic.
Very interesting take. I remember Pastor Jamal Bryant admonishing his parishioners for burning sage. That was an interesting analogy the young man just articulated, and that is, there are rituals in the church. When you eat that cracker and drink that grape juice, that wine or the blood, that's the blood of Jesus. This is a ritual. Now, if some wanted to be cynical, they could say, oh, that's cannibalism. We're eating Jesus's body and drinking his blood. What are we, vampires? It could go anywhere. So, again, one ritual is not good. And I heard what he said about dark magic. Did y'all hear that? Dark magic. Is it dark because it comes from melanated people? Is that what makes it dark? And would the inverse of that or the reverse of that mean Western belief systems are white magic? I'm just asking. I need to know. Sister Dami, come in here, man. Like, our people, when I tell you I'm walking around the studio right now, Dami, and people are literally afraid of this topic. No, I ain't gonna talk about that. No. You gonna talk about Jesus? No, witchcraft? No, not the kid. Why is that, Dami?
Because people scared. That's why. That's what it is. People get scared of that. Over time, history. I mean, think about it. When you think about the Salem witch trials. I mean, even Europeans did it to their own people. They did it to their own people first. So, I mean, just the topic within itself, when it talks about you being empowered, anything, when we talk about our society, is going to always demonize empowering people. Because if I'm empowering you, then you will no longer be my employee, but you'll understand that you are also an entrepreneur. If I empower you, then that means that you understand that you yourself are resourceful. And when you're lacking, you tap into your own inner resources. That's the thing. So nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to give you that free game. You know, let me put you on the game. Nobody want to put you on the game. People want to sell the game. That's just what it is, but it is what it is.
Let me ask you this, though. Because they try to make it seem like he's practicing witchcraft or she's practicing witchcraft and you're under a spell. If your mama is speaking negatively to you about your daddy, that's casting a spell. If your pastor is speaking to other parishioners about how your suit is dirty, right? Those are conspiracy. You know the word conspiracy means whispers. And that's the devil's original name in the Bible, is the whisperer. So if the conspiracy of whispers are happening in the church, they're casting negative, evil spells too. Can you talk to me about that, Dami?
So hard. I love it. Okay. Please, y'all, don't get on me. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it's real. It's real. It's really real. I mean, we've been hoodwinked, we've been bamboozled, like real talk, you know. Because without it, I mean, a lot of churches would be closed. A lot of these, you know, a lot of consumerism wouldn't necessarily be as high because people will be out there employing themselves. Like, this is what it really breaks down to at the end of the day. You know, who's the buyer, who's the consumer? And I know we're talking about a very spiritual topic, but all of that goes it intertwines because you got a lot of people out here who rushing to be these spiritualists just so they can boost they capital.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's just the reality of the world that we live in today. Everybody's a guru, everybody's a this, everybody's a that. I'm an Ianifa. I've been initiated for some years now. I've gone through several different initiations, received several different titles. The point is that I don't even go around here pushing all of that.
Well, I'll push it for you.
So,
I call her every other 2 weeks, and I say I need help. I need a reading. Something wrong. Get in here, Donnie.
Definitely. I understand. And I mean, the thing is, though, most people who empower you, they not really looking for a paycheck type thing. Because if I'm empowering you, that means that if I teach you how to fish, what my father would tell me all the time, if I give you fish, you'll eat for a day. If I teach you how to fish, you'll eat for a lifetime. That means you don't need me no more.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need me no more. I gave you the game. Now go and make do with that. You know, so that's what my teacher taught me. Your teacher, our teacher, you know, our godfather. That's what he gives us. He gives us the knowledge to go and do it for ourselves. So for me, I don't really get too caught up in the whole religion thing and all that, even though I have a very extensive background within it. I don't really get too caught up in it because I feel like that's low vibrational.
Mm-hmm.
I'm raising my vibration a bit more where I don't argue over religion. You call God, Yahweh, whoever, that's your business, for sure. Good for you. If it works.
There we go. That's who I know.
Even people who are in the practice, the tradition, and yet they still struggle with the fundamentals in certain aspects. And I have been told this in certain ways from certain other priests. And I've also told this to other people. If you ain't got it by now, go back to the church. And it's okay.
Listen,
okay.
wait, hold tight. She cooking right now. Listen, when we come forward, I want you to address this question, and we got callers. I want you to talk to some of our callers. This question is there a mean girl culture within the traditions of African spirituality? Me and my sister, Ia, Dami, we on fire tonight when we come forward. Trust me, there is so much rich conversation left.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Julius White. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. New York City Mayor, African-American Eric Woo! Sees no problem with President Biden's age. It comes after the president announced he would be running for re-election in 2024. His age is...
Woo! This shit fire. I don't know about y'all, but this right here, about to reveal some classified info. LOL. Get ready. Jay Kofa! Man, you took us to 96, brother.
Yay!
Come on. Shout out to everybody who has hit that super chat, man.
Oh, that's his second time doing it.
That's his second time. I didn't see it. Jay Kofa, salute.
Who is you?
You looking for Jay Kofa now?
No.
Don't be looking.
No, I'm just...
What? That's the kind of father I am. Like, what the fuck is she doing? I told you I saw her on Instagram. She had her shoulder out on Halloween.
Oh my God, that was last Halloween, y'all. Do y'all hear that? Halloween.
I'd be like, as much.
That was 8 months ago, y'all.
No, what happened? What, Andy? What is it?
Not on this particular topic.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
I totally get it. I get it.
I respect it.
I respect it too. Hey, he got skin in the game.
What could he say? What could he possibly say?
I don't know what he could say about this.
Jesus.
For me, it's perspective. That's what he'll be saying. Perspective.
All he can do is ask questions. He ain't got no perspective on this.
Hey, we cooking tonight.
I'm sorry, you can call
Nzinga! Nzinga. Thank you, Nzinga. And Wanda, you called me on the phone. That's when y'all heard the damn Star Wars music. Is because Wanda Trotter called me. What up, Wanda? Good to see you in here. I'm using my phone to broadcast. Eric done hit it twice tonight. Good looking, bro.
Woo, woo, woo. We super chatting tonight. I'm pregnant.
How does he maintain his capacity? Why can't you open up, brother?
You got to sit by the cooler?
So William, reason and accountability. The voice of reason.
I was in the horoscopes. I was doing all the yoga stuff. Burning sage. I lived with a witch. That's what all the witches I knew did. When they got to the house, you would always burn sage. It's a common thing.
So it blows my mind when I see Christians doing it. They don't know any better. You don't need the bacteria out of your house that bad. Get some Lysol and be done with it. Burning sage. All you got is sage-smelling demons that you just brought in. Get rid of nothing. You brought them in.
Oh, what in the world? Yes, people believe that. People, do you know how old burning sage is for Native Americans, for Hindus, for Africans? And when did burning sage become off limits for Christians? When did yoga become off limits for Christians? The Bible, does the Bible speak on yoga? What I'm saying is, man, like, there has to be more respect in the spirit space. Like, if you really spiritual, you understand that every belief system has a grain and a seed of truth. Now, what happens is culture, politics, and all the other appendages get tacked on to this universal truth and then contaminates it. Fear, ego, all of this stuff starts to pour into what was once a pure idea or a pure metaphor, and then gets turned into something that is divisive, or something that actually becomes judgmental and condescending and exclusionary, right? It's real strange to me. But I got my sister on the line. Tonight's topic is Witches with Attitudes. WWA, a deeper look at millennial black women's migration away from the Abrahamic belief systems back to African spirituality. And my initial question was, should they carry their unhealed wounds with them? Now, when we came forward, I left you guys on a bit of a cliffhanger. I was asking my sister, who is an Ianifa, a priestess, which would also be considered a witch, but not in the European context you've been conditioned by. This is an African spirituality context, which is totally different. The question is there a mean girl culture within the traditions of African spirituality? Iadami, what are your thoughts?
Can I say hell?
You can say hell. Yes.
Yes, absolutely it is. I mean, in anything that you do, I am really a firm believer that it's not necessarily the practice, the spiritual practice that one does, or the practice within itself. It's the people. People come and contaminate everything. And, you know, it's pretty sickening. But that mean girl attitude or that mean girl culture, where it comes from is from the unhealed. So that unhealed affects another one who's already unhealed and traumatizes that one even more, and now that one just passes it down and passes it down and passes it down. That is that mean girl culture. Or if you're not with the clique, you're not with us. Or if, you know, instead of bringing young women in, taking them under your wing, giving them the game, helping them to understand and see their value, their worth, how to make better decisions in life and through their mates and their partners and within their families and things. It is a judgment. Or she ain't this, or she ain't that, or she with him, or she with that, or this or that, or this or that. And then we get caught up on all those things and we lose the whole focus of spirituality. We lose the whole focus of practicing the way or existing in order to practice the ways of God, right? Which is the whole breakdown of the term spiritual, to be spiritual. That within itself, we lose it. We lose the Iwa Pele. What is the Iwa Pele? It's the good character. It's not just a good character, though. It's a gentle character. Being gentle with oneself, being gentle with another, being able to have compassion and empathy for one another, understanding for one another, not judgment. I don't judge you, and the fact that I don't judge you is I can accept you as you are. That's the real come as you are, right? So even if you want to talk about Jesus, Jesus within himself said, the hell with these damn temples. The hell with these temples. Don't nobody care about these temples. The work is out in the streets with the people. Go get the people. If all y'all already saved, why y'all just among saved folks and not going to go save some other folks? So same thing with us. If we already healed, why can't we pay that forward and give that healing to the next generation so that these younger women don't come up with these traumas and passing it on down to their daughters? And down the line, down the line, down the line. When does it stop?
So just listening to you, you know what this reminds me of? Because sometimes I'm in a hurry when I'm leaving my house. And sometimes I may grab two mismatched socks, right? Mix-matched socks. And what I'll do is, if I worn them, say, the day before, I go, oh, these socks are clean enough. And what I'll do is, I'll flip them inside out. And I'll wear them inside out. This is the truth. I'm sorry. I'm telling you, I'm having a vulnerable moment right now because I'm inspired. I'll flip the socks inside out. Black folk in America are inside out. And the reason why I say that, to be afraid of your lineages, your spiritual lineage, to be afraid of it. I'm telling you, I'm walking around the studio. People are afraid. They look like abused puppies. Have you seen them videos? There's 32 cents a day. You can help little Barky, right? I mean, they look shook over this topic because they've been conditioned to hate self. Now, you can listen to Malcolm when Malcolm says, who taught you to hate yourself? But who taught you to hate your philosophy? Who taught you to hate your spirituality? Who taught you to hate the repository of information that came up out of your spirit? Who taught you to hate that? It boggles my mind. They won't even sit down and have a conversation because they're fearful. And where there is fear, love cannot exist. Empathy cannot exist. Care cannot exist. Can I hit you with another one? God is bigger than any idea in any holy book. Your holy book is a shoddy, shabby description of God. How can you describe the infinite? How can you describe in words, in any language, the all-powerful, the all-knowing, the all-substantive? How can you put that in a concept? So what you fail to realize is your book is a template. This is why I go back to Alfred Korzybski, the famous linguist, when he said, the map is not the territory. You done took somebody else's map for your spiritual territory, and you walking around here like an inside-out sock. Sister Ia, get back in here. I'm sorry, I went on a tangent.
Wow, that's beautiful. I like that. That reminds me of when I took my first trip to Nigeria, not to Africa, but to Nigeria. And I was going there to receive my priesthood, or to receive Ifa, my full initiation. And when I went there, I was all geeked. I was happy. You know, I'm like, yeah, I finally made it. You know, I've been to South Africa before, but to now reach West Africa, like, yeah, we in there. And I was excited. And then I went straight to the village, so I didn't really get to see much of anything. My flight was crazy messed up. Somebody had a seizure on the plane. I'm like, man, get this dude off the plane. And I know that's wrong, but at the moment, that's just where my mind was. But anyway, when I went there, and we finally got to leave the village, and we went to, we went through the marketplace, and they took us to this place. We were in Abiyakuta, and they took us to Olumo Rock. And they were giving us the breakdown in history and whatnot. And some of the people there, these are natives of the city. And they come there, and what they do is, some of them, like, it's not even a job for them. They don't get paid, but they get paid by the tips that people give them. At the time, they did. And, you know, they were giving us, giving us the history and all of this and whatnot. And it was cool. And then, but at a certain point, I'm just looking at the people. Now, mind you, I done went there. They done shaved my head. They done did all kind of things. I done really went through it. Okay, and now I finally get to see the man outside of the village, and I'm looking at these people with two-tone skins and bleaching themselves and all of this, wigs and all of this masquerade. And I'm like, damn, I done paid thousands of dollars to come here, because I want to know of my people on the other side. And I'm like, let's run away from being colonialized. You, excuse me, yeah, I almost said something.
Don't say it.
You people are running towards it. You're saying, oh, colonize me? Please, colonize me. They'll look at me as a black African American and call me Oyimbo. And one of them did, and I said, don't ever call me that again in your life. She said, oh, you understand what I said? I said, I understand everything you said. And don't ever disrespect me like that again. Oh, my sister. No, I'm not your sister. No. Keep that same energy.
Come on.
And for those of you who want to say, oh, what tip do you have for me? What do you have for me? That's the thing. What do you have for me? They see us, you African American. What do you have for me? And I told one of them, I said, what I got for you, here's a tip. Stop selling yourself.
Ooh.
And I walked on to the car, and I cried, and I cried, and I cried, and I cried. I couldn't stop crying. Everybody's like, what's wrong with Sam? And I'm like, this is a shame. The world is upside down. It's flipped inside out.
So wait.
Exactly what you're saying about that inside out sock.
I got one on right now. No, I don't. But listen, because people are in the chat are saying, what is the term they called you, and what does it mean?
Oyimbo is like,
what is it? Oyimbo?
yeah, it's like I'm white. You know, I'm like, I'm of the white man. You know, I'm not a brother or sister of them. Definitely. You know,
Wow.
but if I was white, they would have laid out the red carpet for me. I
Mm.
would have got the red carpet.
Mm.
Oh yes, sir. Oh yes, ma'am. Oh yes, sir. Oh yes, ma'am. But poverty is an MF though. Like, poverty will take you to places that you never thought that you would get to that low. You know, poverty will really reshape and reframe your whole moral standards. So I realized that, and I was able to now come back with compassion, empathy, for those who had an understanding, who even wanted to seek an understanding. But for the ignorant, we do away with them. But definitely, it was a culture shock for me. It definitely was.
Man, my sister Ia Dami is in here killing in the name of Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. It's so much flavor on this topic. When we come forward, myself and Ia are going to take some callers. Boy, I'm sure they got a lot to talk about.
The reasons that we're here.
Woo!
That's the same thing my mom said. She wrote her book Motherless Children in the Motherland, and she said them women they were so mean to her because she was African American. You know, so she said being an African American and going back to the motherland, it was beautiful, but it was hard because it's not what you would think, like a warm embrace, like my sister. It's like they think they're better than, but they're really not, because she's so, y'all let these motherfuckers come in from the beginning.
Bet 100, shoot 100.
Oh my God. It's like so
do it. Bet 100, shoot 100. When she did that shit, boy, she wasn't even here for her topic. Bet 100, shoot 100. I got yours and mine on this roll right here. Bet 100, shoot 100.
I can't believe you knew what that meant.
What the fuck? I'm old. Of course I know. Hey, what do y'all think? Y'all tell me. Y'all chime in. Put up whatever emoji you think best describes this topic. Let me know right now. Let's get an emoji roll call. Emoji roll call. Let's go. Let's go. Bet 100, shoot 100.
Emoji roll call.
Emoji roll call. Yeah. I see y'all. Don't be scared. I'm tired of scared black Negroes. Oh, he talking about Africa and voodoo and all that's yours. And Christianity too. And Islam too. And Judaism. All of it's yours.
Have a seat at the table.
Every belief system. Hinduism, Taoism, Buddhism. All of it. Ain't nothing authored without the black hand.
Are we gonna play Black Parade?
Oh, you gotta tell Andy.
No more videos. That was the last one.
That's fine. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, if we can't have real talk, we can't be real friends. We can't have a real relationship if we don't have real talk. If all we talk about are things we agree upon, we are a very limited and stagnant union. I need y'all to understand that. We are a very limited and stagnant union. We can only talk about what we agree upon. See, this stuff it runs deep, man. We come from broken homes that come from a broken, toxic society, right? In that society serves as a parental figure. This parental figure, say, is our father, but our mother is somewhere else, some other country, some other culture, some other belief system. So the father, this country, the father, the country that eats its own, right, is constantly speaking down on our mother. Your mother ain't ish. Your mother was a tramp. Your mother was stupid. Your mother it wasn't worth nothing. Just like the child in a parental alienation situation, your sense of self is being eroded by your caregiver, America. So America has eroded our spiritual sense of self, our spiritual sense of culture, our spiritual sense of self-worth, self-esteem, self-acknowledgement, and while at the same time degrading our mother. So now when we grow up, that's the only parent we knew. We suffer from a type of Stockholm Syndrome. So now, when even the concept of our mother is brought up, we're afraid of. I was told she was crazy. I was told she was shiftless. I was told she dealt in dark magic. You don't know that you're suffering from Stockholm Syndrome. You don't know it. But this is what has happened. And at the same time, your father been in secret communication with your mother, getting the benefits of knowing her. Oh, you didn't know that, huh? These white folk be out here getting that African spirituality. They be getting that work. Pastors, politicians, executives, they be getting that work that they told you was evil. Come on in here, Iadami. Come on, get in here. Am I lying? You ain't gonna snitch on nobody.
Nah, nah.
Oh man, I love Ia. Ia, you want to take some callers with me?
For sure, let's do it.
All right, Nazarene X, Atlanta, Georgia, get in here. And we had somebody on from Los Angeles, but they dropped. Call back, Nazarene X. Come on in.
Man, tonight's show, man, so fire. Shout out to Sister Sam, is it?
Iadami. That's Iadami to you. I call her Sam.
Iadami. All right. Iadami. Respect and love, man. Thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you for this riveting conversation, for real. I don't want to ask too much, but even just chiming in, just in the vein of what the fellas out here wondering, and Brother Andy, if you can chime in, help me out, but like, Sister Iadami, where should the men position ourselves in order to remain in alignment with sisters such as yourself, or even like to further our own knowledge base or introductions into these and powerful systems of spirituality, this knowledge, the culture, the community? Like, where should we be as men?
That's a good question. That's a good question. Well, one thing for sure.
Don't be like me.
What would you like, though?
I just said, don't be like me.
Anyway, back to what the brother was saying. Yes, don't be like my brother. But anyway, I would say that you want to definitely be in tune with yourself. All of this, when we talk about African spirituality, it's going to, one, speak about your own, what we know is Ori, so that's your higher consciousness. That is your spirit of destiny. And then you have your ancestors, right? So that's the fundamentals of having this strong foundation for men and women. For me personally, I like to always tell people that you don't have to go and find your tribe. But as you working on yourself and doing right things that you need to do, your tribe will find you. Because you will resonate on a certain level where you're going to attract certain energy towards you. And that's just what it is. Like-minded people are going to connect to other like-minded people. You know, and sometimes that seems to be kind of slim and thin in the in-between point. But at the same time, that working on self and cultivating self and developing oneself isn't very important, and you don't want to rush that process at all. I see so many people that rush that process and they want to get straight to the community. But the more work that you do on yourself, that's the better contribution that you bring to the community. And that's what Ifa and the systems of the tradition teach us. You know, we everything within itself is about community in Ifa, but definitely you can't do nothing in community if you haven't worked on that individual self. So that's for men and women. That's how I see it.
I love it.
Thank you very, very much.
Nazarene X, you brought Atlanta in the building. We love you, brother, man. Thank you for the call. We appreciate it. If you want to bring your city in the building, you know what you got to do. You got to hit those digits. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. That's 1-800-920-1580. And who we got? Fashegun from Los Angeles. Get in here, Fashegun. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic? Aboroboye, Aboshishe. Yeah, what's happening?
How you doing, brother? Thank you for the show. Great topic. Yeah, it's a great topic. Today's my Oshun initiation, so I'm getting blessed from the sister and from you. Great topic. So I'm just enjoying listening, and yeah, I don't want to take up too much time, but I'm enjoying this.
Do you have a question? Do you have a question for Iyadami?
You know, I just like everything she's saying.
He's going to ask about the song yesterday.
She gave good information about the women energy and Ifa. It's very important. We can't do anything without the sisters and the feminine energy. You know, so I'm just appreciating. I'm just listening.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
The topic, brother. Thank you very much. Keep up the good work, brother.
Thank you, brother. We appreciate it.
Good work.
Fashegun, he brought LA into the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, you already know what you got to do. You got to hit those digits. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, we're going back to my sister, Iyadami. She's in here on fire. I know you're scared, but try to open that airtight. You in a safe. I got to get you out of that. Just try to open your mind a little bit so you can hear some of the wisdom that the young sister is laying down on y'all. We got a lot to talk about when we come forward.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of Reason with Sir Williams exclusively on
Shit, fire.
From the Black Information Network. New York City Mayor, African-American Eric Adams says he sees no problem with President Biden's age. It comes after the president announced he would be running for re-election in 2024. Meantime, a meeting between the Justice Department and Hunter Biden's attorneys is reported to have taken place today. The meeting reportedly involved potential charges related to tax filing from the president's son and an illegal firearm purchase. The Montana Republicans have voted to censure the state's first openly transgender lawmaker. Democratic Representative Zoe Zephyr will not be allowed on the state's House floor for the rest of the legislative session. She took the hire of a group of Republican state House and Senate Republicans after she said this to lawmakers who voted to ban gender-affirming care for minors.
I hope the next time there's an invitation, when you bow your heads in prayer, you see the blood on your hands.
I'm Julius White on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, BBINnews.com.
It's okay to feel stressed, anxious, worried, or frustrated. CalHope can help. Access CalHope's free
Black Parade.
mental health resources. Call 833-667.
Woo, it's fire tonight. You got to admit this topic is good.
Look at her necklace.
The pen is mightier than the sword. At KBLA Talk 1580, we not only have a lot to talk about, we have a lot to write about.
The devil?
Politics, KBLA Talk 1580 has you covered. Be sure to follow us on all our socials for our latest book releases, op-eds, essays, and commentaries from our hosts. And, of course, download the KBLA 1580
I love it. We killing.
to remain your most trusted, credible, and reliable source for the issues you care about. This is unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. What up, baby? KBLA Talk 1580.
Watch that mouth back there on Bloods. Shut up.
Systemic racism. KBLA stands with you in fighting for the rights of black workers, and we don't black down. The Los Angeles Black Workers Center is a dynamic alliance of workers organized
You don't know how to do it.
organizations, clergy, students, and scholars.
We turned up tonight.
collectively to improve the position of the black working
We are turned up tonight.
Black Workers Center takes a comprehensive approach to addressing the
We are lit tonight.
access to quality jobs, racial equity in hiring and retention, discrimination-free job sites.
And the show is moving so goddamn fast. Can you help her with the phone line? I think it is Ia a child of Obatala? She's not. I don't know. You should ask her. I know I'm a child of. Ooh, you know what this is. You know what this is. Do y'all know what this is?
Meet Joe A, Joe B, and Joe C. 3 everyday Joes perfecting their banking with cheese. Joe A.
Ah, good.
Joe B.
Good, my young Padawan. Good.
Go back to school. Tools that help protect. Support for what's next. One bank that could
Oh, you know you can't sleep. No, you can't sleep. You can't sleep. Y'all know you can't sleep. You cannot sleep. Everything starts right here. You cannot sleep. Everything starts right here. You know what it is.
nonprofit organization based in California that focuses on the growth and well-being of Africans all around the world. Their mission is to promote the well-being of
Phone lines are bananas right now.
and appreciation of one another by building a bridge of love and understanding. African
I'm sleeping. First off, he at your front door right now. SU. You know what it is. I'm a child of SU. You know what it is.
African-focused trailblazers tours, African dance competition, and showcase Los Angeles.
Red and black. SU. You know what it is.
Is it true that SU was me? Was
Focused or to attend one of their community
What?
building events, please call
But did SU didn't know who his dad was? Huh?
7730. That's 310
What?
Did he know him?
Girl, what story are you reading?
AfricanFocus.org.
Man, somebody get her. Somebody come here.
I thought his mom is Oshun, right? Who's his dad?
I ain't gonna say.
Oh, I know who his dad is. The one that broke Oshun's heart, huh?
I'm asking about
Who broke it? Who broke?
The
what?
one she got with when he was married.
Somebody come get her.
I'm sorry. Yes, I'm so sorry. Thank God. Oh, no, I'm not.
A Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia.
Come get her. Come get
Approved for adults to prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that
the one who fell off the building. Abu! Come get your child, Abu. Ah, that's funny.
For additional common side effects and
That's
full
funny.
prescribing information,
Eshu and Orumala are best
or
friends.
visit prep920.com.
I want to be able to keep my plan. So I'm asking my doctor.
I know you have.
Vaccinated with Prep 920.
I gotta come to the lounge so you can tell him.
Live in 30.
Oh, I will, third eye. How you know? How you know? It's just gonna suffocate you like the little cat, and I'm gonna hug you and I'm gonna squeeze you.
She would. I think so too.
This is my song.
Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, you better turn this devil worship off. Turn this devil worshiper off now. Now, we done gone too far. The girl done mentioned Oshun in the record. She said she about to go back down south to where all of her traditions are richer. Listen, that's devil worship. I've seen African pastors. Now, that's the inside out sock for me. I've seen African pastors call her a devil worship. Boy, you're colonized. And don't think, listen, you can be colonized by the dollar. You can be colonized by way of the lifestyle. And you can be colonized spiritually. If you're going to go to Christianity, go to the Christianity you created. You do know the oldest form of Christianity on planet Earth. The oldest form of Christianity on planet Earth is located in Africa. Oh, people don't know that, right? Ethiopia. Right? Most people don't know that, right? How you, listen, because this is a whole movement. People saying Beyonce is a devil worshiper. And don't get it twisted. All forces of nature, prayer, all forces. Let me explain something to you. I broached this conversation earlier this week when we were talking about the spells you cast against yourself. Do you know negative self-talk, that is a spell? And you could be Christian or Ifa or Santeria. You could be any belief system and still be beating yourself up internally, casting negative spells. What if you have a ritual of self-deprecation? Huh? What if you participate in that? Now, I just don't understand how Beyonce is a devil worshiper, because she connected to her African roots and the African spiritual belief system. Why is it that everything out of Africa is dark and evil and swarthy? Why is that? How come Ifa is not included, right, in the world religions? You got to go get a book specifically on Ifa. It's not included in a book, in a compendium that's outlining all of them. No. Why is it that your belief system that connects you to the world, when those Africans came on the slave ships, when those Africans came on the slave ships, they came with Ifa. And there's evidence of that here in the Americas. There's evidence of Allah and there's evidence of Christianity. Why do they obfuscate the African piece? When them slave ships landed in South America, Ifa, which originated in Nigeria, turned into Candomblé. When they landed in the Caribbean, Voodoo. When they landed in Cuba, Santeria. And they came to America, Lukumi. Sounds like a pretty pervasive belief system, if you ask me. But it's always villainized. It's always demonized. And now it's being demonized by the descendants of the people who originally authored it. Ia, come in here. How do we fix this mess?
How do we fix it? I mean, don't give me the hype. The time history has just told us where we see that they lied to us, and they're trying to kill us in every way, you know, if it ain't by something that they want us to inject into our bodies, they don't put it in our food, they don't make us take it, you know, so we gotta wake up. It's just really the only thing to do is just to wake up and know thyself. That's most important. I mean, and it's not just to Ifa. Any practice that you want to, you know, live out, do it. Just do it wholeheartedly. Understand the truth about it. Be real with yourself. You know, when you look at yourself in the mirror, if you're happy with what you see, then keep doing what you're doing. But if you got some questions, then deal with that.
But wait a minute.
Deal with that. Get to the root of it.
But wait a minute. You're a preacher's kid. You know good and well, and questions ain't allowed at church. How are we supposed to get around that if I can't say, hey, man, where this stuff come from? And how come you don't speak the language? And how come the book contradicts itself? And what? How come? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I digress.
Yeah, definitely. I am a PK's kid, and I went through that transition too. But that's what I had to come to. I had to stop looking for answers from people who wasn't even equipped enough to give me no answers, because they didn't even have an answer for themselves. They didn't have an answer for themselves. They didn't know why Jesus didn't do that, why God didn't say that. They didn't know. They just said, well, he didn't say it. When I realized, and I'm talking to people that your only source is one book, it's nothing for us to talk about, really. It's not much for us to talk about. Our conversation is very limited. So within that, that's when I stop arguing. I don't got no arguments with no Christians. I don't care what you do. That's on you. Live your life, be well. If it's getting you there, it's turning around 3 times in 360, that's your 360 lifestyle, then there you go.
Listen, he who educates you becomes the interior decorator of your mind. I know you don't want to hear it like that this evening, but that's how we gonna do it. Ia, we gonna bring in some people who want to talk to you. Let's get them in. They've been on the line. Let's get them in right now. We got Oya from Los Angeles. Get in here.
Greetings, everyone. Aboya, how are you? Aboya.
Oh, well, speak on it. Yeah, come on. What do you think about tonight's topic?
Oh, tonight's topic is hot. I mean, I've been on hold for a long time. So you know it's people in the streets, at home, and they just have questions. You know, my question for you is there a system within the Ifa spiritual traditional system that one can learn, a divination system for someone who is not an initiate, similar, you know, how they have tarot or oracle that people don't have to be initiated to do? Is there a modality that if someone is interested, they can learn? And if so, where can they go to get this training? I say. There is a system. The system of Ifa within itself is a divination system. And that branches off into several different other divination systems. Now, when we're talking about the divination system where anyone can be one to learn this type of divination, it's Obi divination within itself.
It's what? You said Obi divination?
Obi divination.
Can you spell that?
Obi. OBI.
Obi divination. Got it.
Obi divination. That is one of the most fundamental. That is the fundamental divination system within Ifa.
You can break after you're done with.
Actually gives us the fundament for all the other branches of divination that we see within Ifa. It helps us to get acquainted with what we know as the Odus, and the Odus are basically, in a more very simplistic way of understanding them, is the oracles that gives us our predictions of, our questions and so on and so forth. In learning OB Divination, I am a teacher. I teach OB Divination. I have a Instagram, the OB Room, and I do an online class and all those good things. So yes, OB Divination is that system.
Amazing. Oh yeah, we appreciate your call. You brought it, Los Angeles in the building. We appreciate it. We got to move. We got to move. When I come forward, I'm going to Seattle, Washington to talk to Barbara. We on fire tonight. The phone lines are cracking. Hey, my sister still has a lot to talk about. She might teach you a little OB.
The Catholic Church frowns on Santeria.
Huh?
The Catholic Church frowns on Santeria.
Of course, everybody frowns on it. It's voodoo.
Funding for Black students. Aisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News, brought to you by Industry. Story courtesy of CaliforniaBlackMedia.org. Mid-April.
It's spelled IFA.
No, you can't not buy all red Obies. Yo, this shit lit tonight. Hey, I'ma find them. Don't you want them consecrated? Fuck? That ass kid. Here we go. It's not a cell phone case. What the fuck? I don't know what to do. Do you know how fearful people are of these type of conversations? Do you know? Do you understand what's happening tonight? This is a special place. I don't know if y'all know it or not, but this is a special place. Just pause for a second and ask yourself, where in America is this type of conversation happening? Right? Where in America is this type of conversation, this level of conversation happening on terrestrial radio? Just think for a second and go through your mind. Like, and you right, Nzinga. I know that's why y'all here. I know it. This some different shit. Nowhere. Ain't nobody.
Beyonce said, "We black, that's why they always mad." That's a cool song, huh?
Yeah.
Cut it off.
Steve Harvey or DL would have touched this topic. 15 seconds. Here we go.
You know they both coon little selves don't know what to do with these topics. Now Bernie Mac would have been like, I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. And Cedric, Cedric from St. Louis, we ain't scared of these conversations. But them little two light pussyfoot niggas.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason. You already know my playlist is my co-host. And my playlist has been on fire all night. Nina Simone, Carlos Santana. We on fire tonight, man. Listen, you have to pull the fear out of you so you can listen with clarity. Voodoo, Ifa, Condomble, Lukumi, all these belief systems that were born out of Ifa. You see them everywhere. Remember the movie Angel Heart? She was a voodoo priestess. Played by, what was the girl from the Cosby Show? Mother of Zoe, I forgot her name. Lisa Bonet. There was a voodoo priestess in that movie, right? Chucky. Yes, Chucky. Go back and watch the Child's Play movie. They put your ancient belief system in it as devil worship. Come on. So racism exists everywhere except spirituality? Huh? Why would they create a devil worship, evil narrative for your belief system? You know why? Because they don't want you nowhere near it. Because they understand that is the crucible of your sense of self. And if you ever realign with the truth of who you are, there's no way you could be conquered. I know you don't want to hear that tonight, but that's what it is. Ia Dami, do you agree or disagree with what I'm saying?
I definitely agree. That's enough for it. That's in a nutshell. Absolutely. They don't want you to know. Why would they want you to know? They want if you know, then that takes them out the picture. So, of course.
Yeah, 100%. We got a sister from Seattle that want to talk. Barbara, get in here and talk to me and my sister, Ia Dami. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
First of all, Bua Buya, Abu Shisha, and Alafia.
Alafia.
And I think this is a fire topic that we need to have more discussions about this. And I have a question. So in the chat on YouTube, Baba Falea mentioned something that I thought was really interesting, is that many Black women have forgotten who they are, what power we have, that we are the original witch, if you will, if we want to roll with the word, reclaim the word. And I guess my question to Iadami, I've been on the mat with Iadami, and I've seen and known and heard what she can do and say. And, I'm Gen X, I'm not even millennial, and I'm learning from her and getting a different take on how to take my life from her. So what would you say to any woman, no matter the age, millennial, Gen X, or whatever, to start, what can we do to start to remember who we are, to start to remember our power? Because they came from...
Ia, are you there? Did you hear a question?
I heard it. It was that last part that cut off. But what I would say to women, young women, older women, one, I would say, first, of course, the fundamental is knowing yourself. Knowing yourself, knowing your story, knowing where you come from is most important. Getting into the history books of your own family is most important. That ancestral veneration is very important. At the same time, too, also getting out in the community and connecting with other women is very important as well. Connecting, the younger women connecting with older women, the older women connecting with younger women, bridging those gaps of misunderstandings across the generations is very important. That's something that in a lot of ways we lack within our Black community, which is the elders imparting the knowledge and the wisdom into the youth. And that's very important because in many ways, whether we want to admit it or not, a lot of us as women who are disconnected from that divine feminine energy or from that divine feminine space, we were disconnected from that at birth.
Mm.
We didn't necessarily have the best relationship with our mother, many of us, which who didn't have the best relationship with their mother, many of them, and so on and so forth. The first sense of competition that one may have I've met with some women, was with their own mother. It wasn't at school with the mean girl. The mean girl was right in their house. Right? So what is your introduction to that divine femininity? Is very important. And then how you reintroduce yourself to that divine femininity is very important as well. And that's just on a basic level. We can talk, that within itself is a whole nother topic on what we as women need. But one thing that I see that we need definitely is this aspect of relation. We got to get back to how we relate to one another so that we can be able to pass down more positive narratives about ourselves as women. Not, oh, women can't never get along, women so highly emotional, women so this, women so that. And we take on these narratives that have been given to us by society, by men who don't understand us. And we just take it on. I meet so many women, and we have more of a mindset of a man than we do even of a woman.
Okay.
We put up this defense, right? Oh, sorry, let me stop.
No. I don't want you to stop. Like, girl, you. Where's the church music? Yeah, Jesus. She's in here preaching. We just at the very end of the show. So this is what I want to do real quick. Ia, tell them where they can find you. How can they support you? Where can they go? What are your Instagram? Do it real quick because we got like 30 seconds.
Okay, Instagram, Ia_Aurora, DamiOnline.net. You can also reach me, and also the Open Room on Instagram as well, and Facebook. You can reach me.
Man, I love you, sis. I'll talk to you soon. We started the conversation. It's your job to finish it. You already know the fire is going to stay lit. Sean, I'm sorry I didn't get to you. I'm up against it. My brother, Danny Morrison, is on his way in here to keep this fire lit. We love having these kind of conversations. Don't be afraid. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep pushing the envelope because clearly Zoe Williams has got a lot to talk about.
Woo! Get your
Fire! Fire!
She said her Instagram was something. I couldn't understand.
This shit was lit. This shit was dummy lit.
I learned so much.
I learned so much, man. It was so much good stuff being said, man.
I was looking up all kinds of stuff.
Was it fire?
We both said she's millennial.
It was fire, right? Y'all enjoy it?
We love you. Thank you for all the love you showed us. We give it back to you 100-fold.
Hey, where's the Oh, never mind. I got it.
Because you ain't putting stuff back. Ain't putting it back where you found it. Come on. I think the coffee got that.
Fire. All right, y'all. Love y'all. Deuces.